Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why you need to stop wasting your time and finally make a YouTube channel. I'm going to use my YouTube channel journey as an example. I started out on YouTube and content creation in general in late 2022. And I continued making content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch for about a year until I stopped. During that period, I learned a whole lot about content creation and what makes good content versus bad content. I'm of course still learning, but I think this period is almost necessary for success on YouTube, or any other social platform for that matter. Trying out new things in different niches is just a part of your YouTube journey, and I'm still starting out. It's only been about a year and a half since I made this channel. From the beginning of when I started out until late 2023, I had only had 300 subscribers on YouTube. At that point, I've learned a lot about YouTube, but I needed a break. I went on a short hiatus to think about the kind of content that I wanted to make when I came back. It took months of planning, thinking, and just trying things until they worked out. I didn't put out all the things that I tried. I used my intuition for the most part. You want to feel good about your content, not bad. You want to make sure your content resonates with you and who you are as a person, and also gives value to your viewer. And I don't mean you have to be a teacher or anything, but your content does have to have some kind of appeal. And I'm not saying you have to go ahead and pick your niche and all those things right away, or ever. But I do think those are things to keep in mind when thinking about creating a YouTube channel. After I figured that out, I started posting my videos on YouTube. Videos that I was actually proud of. When I finally put out my first new video out onto YouTube, I ended up getting 2.6 thousand views in only about 3 days. At the time, I was shocked, but honestly, it makes sense because I finally put out authentic content. Making authentic content means making something that resonates with you and the audience that you want it to go to. Whether you're making story times and yapping videos like me, or you're making lifestyle content, or anything else really, as long as it has an audience, and as long as you're making the most authentic content you possibly can, you will get an audience. And I'm not boasting. I don't have even 1,000 subscribers on YouTube yet. But I'm really happy with the results of my first 4 videos. And I'm finally happy that I can finally be authentically me online. It took me a long time to get to this place where I felt comfortable enough with myself to be authentic with strangers online. I know it's scary. It took me so long. So many barriers I had put up. Personality barriers. I didn't want people to see the real me. But at some point you have to realize that people want to see the real you. People like the real you because they see that you're really just being yourself. The first step to actually moving towards your goal of making a YouTube channel is to become comfortable with yourself. You don't even really need to learn how to edit to a certain extent. You don't have to have crazy fancy equipment. You don't have to have any of that. I'm filming on an iPhone right now. I had this mic because I bought it a year ago when I first started Twitch streaming, and it was not expensive. It was under $50, which is affordable-ish. But it wasn't that difficult to get the bare bones setup that I needed. And I'm not saying you need a $50 mic either. You could get one of those TikTok mics, the little handheld ones. And those actually provide a very interesting visual aspect to your video that makes people keep watching. So you have many options out there. You can really start from nothing. The most important part of it is that you're ready to be vulnerable with other people, because when you put yourself out there, you're doing exactly that, being vulnerable. You have to have a little bit of peace in yourself to where no matter what anyone says, you'll continue to do the thing that you want to do. Because trust me, this may be harsh, but once you start posting on the internet in general and putting yourself out there, a lot of strangers will feel entitled to say horrible things about you. I know it's hard to hear, and it's really hard to read and look at sometimes, because we're all human and we all have emotions and insecurities, and it can feel really scary to be put in a place where someone else is validating that insecurity that you have about yourself, especially if you're working to better yourself. But I think putting yourself out there on the internet can actually help you get over that fear of other people pointing out your insecurities. Because once again, it's not about you. It's about them. That's what you'll learn when you start putting yourself out there and respecting yourself more. It's also not all about views. When you look at it in that way, in an algorithmic, kind of robotic, systematic way, you don't get that many results. Unless you're extremely strategic and you're playing to a huge audience. Like Mr. Beast, for example. It makes sense for his approach to be methodical. Of course, you should have some strategy if you want to get views, but if you don't care either way, it's just a nice way to express yourself. In fact, these videos kind of feel like video diaries, and I much prefer that to journaling. So if you're a yapper, and you want to heal, posting YouTube videos can really help you work through some of your issues. At least that's what it's doing for me. Also working on your self-confidence, posting on YouTube will help you. You will learn to get used to your voice and how it sounds. You will learn to get used to your face and what it looks like in all different kinds of angles. You'll slowly get over those insecurities, those small little details on your face that no one really pays attention to. I think YouTube kind of is like therapy. For people like me, at least, who love to yap. I think YouTube can be considered therapy for some people. I was actually having a conversation with a coworker just yesterday that completely encapsulated what I wanted to communicate in this video. We were having a conversation, and I brought up that I'm a content creator. I expected him to think it was maybe a little cringe or something. He actually responded very well and said, "Don't be embarrassed, that's really amazing." My brother actually makes YouTube videos. He's very dedicated. He's been doing it for like 7 years. And I'm amazed by this story because that's my goal. I want to be doing this for a very long time. So he tells me about his brother's channel. And I go ahead and subscribe to his brother's channel. So if you're seeing this, I have subbed to you. And your channel is really cool. But then I noticed a podcast on his brother's channel. And it said something about brothers. So I asked him, "Are you on this podcast with your brother?" And he goes, "Yeah," in a slightly embarrassed tone, as if he wasn't proud of the content that he was creating with his brother. And I'm like, "No, don't be embarrassed. That's amazing. I'm actually working on starting my own podcast. I've been working on it for about a year. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite types of media." And he says, "Oh, it's just my mic makes my voice sound really weird. I don't really like listening to my voice being played back to me." And then I tell him, "You shouldn't feel that way. I know, it feels really weird when you hear your voice played back, and I struggled with that a lot. I hated my voice for most of my life. I absolutely despised it. And then I got a little older, and people started telling me that my voice was actually, like, really unique. And I never thought that about my voice, ever. Ever. It was my boyfriend who told me, who was the first person who told me, "You sound like a cartoon character. You have a voice that could work in animation and anime and cartoons." And I was like, "No way." He said I sounded like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. So I told him that my voice actually had more value than I even thought it did. So I started freelance voice acting, and now I do have steady clients and money coming in from that. And it's something I'm very passionate about now. And after that, he let me know his perspective on that kind of completely changed. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. And if putting yourself out there for the whole world to see you is your extreme version of therapy, then go ahead and do it, because it really works for some people. As long as they're being authentic to themselves, I find them interesting to watch. Another reason why you should make a YouTube channel is because you have stories that are worth telling. You have a voice that is worth being heard. A lot of people hide away their stories, their voices, for their whole lives. And I find it really, really sad. Even if you're just trying to do a daily journal on YouTube, you can post it. You don't even have to post it, you can keep it for yourself. But if you do post it, I'm 100% sure that at least one person will want to hear what you have to say. And maybe it'll help them out. Making YouTube videos truly helps you make the world a better place, in even minuscule ways. It might be different with TikTok videos that are a little bit more abrasive, but I think YouTube is a great medium in which you can share your stories and make your voice be heard to other people and let them know they're also not alone. I know it's corny, but it's just objectively true. We've seen this over the years with YouTube, how it helps people who were victimized. Anyone who has a story, you will hear their story. And that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. If you feel misunderstood, if you feel alone. When I talk to a camera, I genuinely feel like I'm in the room with a friend. And it is incredibly healing, especially as someone who is super busy with work. I go to work for 80 hours, so I don't have much free time. And the little free time I do have, I film these videos, and also as well as TikToks. I don't really do anything else besides study, which I do at work while I'm working, like multitasking. This is something that I can do on my days off that really makes me excited about life and makes me feel like I have more of a purpose than just being a cashier. And purpose is something that people search for throughout their whole life. I'm not saying YouTube is going to help you find your purpose. I am saying that it could make you more confident. It could make you more comfortable being vulnerable with other people. It could improve your social skills. It can improve your public speaking skills. It can improve so many things. Just your communication in general with other people will improve. Confidence in yourself and how you see yourself will skyrocket. You just got to make sure you're not picking yourself apart and you're allowing yourself to fully accept yourself. And if you have a story to tell, just tell it. Nothing is really holding you back. There's really no circumstance that can hold you back if you really want to achieve this goal. There's nothing that should be holding you back. I know a lot of people say this, but you have to affirm that you truly want this. This is what you want. Because if you affirm that this is what you want, that is what you will do. You just need to put that action out into the universe. And whatever you believe in, God, the universe, nothing, you just need to remember that you are worth something. Your stories are worth something. There's something special about everyone that people will love about you and that is magnetic about you. You just need to find that thing, and it takes a lot of trials and tribulations, but ultimately in the end it's worth it because you feel accomplished, you feel more comfortable with yourself. It's just an overall a good decision. So if you've been thinking about making a YouTube channel, I implore you to please do it. Please do it. Don't overthink it. I took so long to finally crack the code. So if you want to do it faster, that is what you need to do. It's as simple as that. As long as you're being authentic and creating authentic content, nothing can really bring you down. And nothing can stop you. Don't limit yourself. Limiting beliefs are the #1 cause of human failure. No one wants to fail. It's a horrible feeling when you fail. Throughout my life, I have been a quitter. I have been a quitter time and time again. I've been a fighter but a quitter at the same time. Those two things don't mix. They just don't mesh. You have to just be a fighter. I'm sorry to tell you, no more quitting. Don't let yourself quit on anything. Because once you start quitting on the little things, you quit on the big things, then you never achieve that goal that you want to do. And if that goal is making a YouTube channel, just go ahead and do it now, because there's no better time than the present. Tomorrow doesn't exist. So if you want to make a YouTube channel, I implore you, just do it. Just flip and do it, bro. Just flip and do it. That's my advice for this video. I hope I see more amazing, authentic people posting their stories, their hobbies, their interests, everything about them. YouTube is just one way to put yourself out there, but it is a very effective, accessible, and very fun way. You get into this kind of groove where it's the funnest thing ever to film a YouTube video, even if you feel really sad beforehand. Sometimes you'll feel really sad beforehand making like content or making art, music, anything. You'll feel really sad beforehand, and then you start and you just cook. You're cooking. So it doesn't matter, because once you get into that groove, you're doing something you truly enjoy and you're passionate about, you are set. So just remember that once you click that record button, you will be on fire. You will be on fire. They will have to call the fire department to light the fire off your ass because you cooked. And that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. If you like my content, I post a few times a week. I don't have a consistent schedule because I do work all week, but every day off I will film a video and then I will post it that day or the day after. So look out for regularly posted videos at least twice a week. That's the minimum, y'all. Twice a week is the minimum. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and skizzle and press the notification bell, and as well as like the video. Maybe leave a comment. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.